Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the vlog. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. Just wanted to share a little bit of breaking news on the 2023 C8 Corvette and what I think is probably one of the dumbest and stupidest enhancements that General Motors and Chevrolet is doing to the 2023 Corvette. Like, quite frankly, if this is a cost-saving maneuver, I think it is a very dumb place for them to save what is probably only a few dollars on what is a mid-engine supercar. And I understand with the recent price increases, they're facing a lot of inflationary pressure, a lot of supply chain hurdles, and a lot of added costs, but this seems like a really dumb way to try to save a few bucks if that's what the intent is here with this update for 2023. But real quick, if you are stopping by for the first time, I like to make my videos quick, concise, to the point. They don't get circulated as much by YouTube because instead of padding it where there can be 2 ads, I try to keep the video short and concise, which ultimately means it's going to have 1 ad in the video. So if you like the format, you like the channel, you want to show a little bit of extra support, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment down below, and if you can, share this video with all your fellow Corvette enthusiasts. Diving right into the information that we have available to us from the Corvette forums, who leaked this document that looks like it went out on June 14th, probably more specifically to service technicians. We get a bunch of detail on what this modification is for 2023. General Motors and Chevrolet have decided to kill the lock cylinder for the rear hatch and trunk on 2023 model year Corvettes. As you can see here, this impacts North America, so North American vehicles. It's not very clear if this impacts the international market, but the memo states that the rear lock cylinder has been eliminated for the 2023 model years, and questions around the serviceability of this rear compartment are encompassed in the document below. As the document states, starting with the 2023 model year, which makes it sound like this is going to be something going forward, the rear access lock cylinder has been eliminated for all Corvette models. That includes the convertible and the coupe. The document also includes the rear fascia picture that shows that for 2023 it has the cutout for where the lock cylinder goes, just without the lock cylinder. And this is the part that frustrates me the most, is that the rear hatch is openable by 3 electronic methods: the interior switch, the exterior pad that's below the Corvette lettering, and then the key fob button sends an electronic command to the rear hatch to release the rear hatch. And if these 3 methods don't work, we could technically just separate the key fob, take the physical key, insert it in the lock cylinder, and manually release that rear hatch, which is no longer an option. So to get to the part that I think is absolutely stupid, the only way for 2023 model years going forward per this document is you have to take a 3-inch hole saw and measure 3.5 inches starting at the trailering edge of the rear hatch in the rear compartment and drill that 3-inch hole inside of that bumper area to effectively be able to manually release the rear hatch. And the crazy part is, this document very clearly outlines that this will damage the vehicle. So if you have a seized latch, if you get into an accident and the rear hatch has buckled for whatever reason, or you have an electronic component failure. I had a 2002 Eldorado in probably like 2013 when I was in college, and the electronic release never worked on that car, and it was only 10, 11 years old. So that tells me that 10, 15 years from now, we're going to have a bunch of Corvettes that require 3-inch hole saw holes. Which, let's point out, this is a mid-engine supercar, so any servicing that needs to be done requires access to the rear hatch. As well as that's the biggest storage compartment on the vehicle, which effectively means it's constantly being opened and closed in the longevity of the C8 platform for 2023 model year going forward. I think this removes a very crucial element, as well as it just doesn't make sense why they're requiring a hole to be drilled in the car for when electronic components ultimately do fail. The memo also states to send the vehicle to the body shop, and the one line that irks me the most is that this memo states, be certain to determine if this is a warranty, customer pay, or insurance job before the next steps are completed. Make sure that the methods of payment is understood both by the dealership and the customer before making the actual repair, because as the memo states, this does damage the vehicle in order to open the rear hatch and rear compartment. And so I'm not sure if General Motors accounted for this or they just totally forgot about accounting for this scenario, but the only thing now that stops somebody from getting into the storage compartment where I may have valuable belongings on a road trip, I'm parked at a hotel, I'm in a parking garage, heck, I'm in my own driveway, somebody can simply just take off my license plate, drill a 3-inch hole into my rear hatch, and very easily just steal what they want to steal from the rear storage compartment. So effectively, the only thing that's accomplished here that I can think of is GM probably saved a couple dollars at the expense of making the vehicle more susceptible for damage in case rear components fail, and theft became a lot easier. So that's all the information that's been made available to us today. So effectively, in a nutshell, for 2023, there is no lock cylinder going forward on the rear hatch, which requires a 3-inch hole to be drilled in the rear compartment to be able to manually release this hatch. And I get maybe if they wanted to save the lock cylinder mechanism or remove that for whatever reason, maybe they want to save a little bit of weight and make the car more performance intensive. They could still run a string with a manual latch somewhere in the fuel door, somewhere inside the driver compartment like they do for the frunk, which, let's not forget, has a manual release latch in the foot area of the driver's side of the car. I just think that there's so many better ways for General Motors and Chevrolet to have tackled this problem. I hope that we get some detail. Maybe this generates enough noise, people complain about it enough that General Motors addresses this very short-sighted and potential long-term problem as these vehicles age and the electronic components need repairs. This takes away the accessibility and ease of repair of these vehicles. There's nothing in this document that tells us that this applies only to the Stingray. It says all 2023 model year Corvettes. So I assume that the Z06 is going to end up missing this lock mechanism as well, which I just think is crazy because what did they save? A couple of pounds and maybe a couple of dollars? And it just seems crazy how easy it becomes for somebody to be able to access the rear hatch. Imagine having a coupe Z06 with a well over $1,000 to $2,000 engine appearance package with the manifold mount that's in carbon fiber for the Z06. And all it will take for a thief is a 3-inch hole saw to be able to drill the hole, pop the latch, pop the rear hatch, and make off with a bunch of carbon fiber engine components. Now, will someone do that? Will an alarm sound? There's definitely a lot of what ifs with what this modification or this change to 2023 encompasses, but overall, if you can't tell, I'm not a big fan of this decision from General Motors. With that said, this is literally all the information that we have available to us. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. If you have not already, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment down below what your thoughts are on this modification, especially the veteran Corvette enthusiasts. What do you think General Motors' reasoning is for doing this change for 2023? I'd love to get everyone else's feedback, and as always, until the very next video, I look forward to seeing all of you in the comment section below.